It's the grandson of right thought. So Abba told us that we were in spiritual warfare. So let's understand that. I mean, let's really understand it, spiritual warfare. What does that mean, spiritual warfare? That means that you're at war for your inner world. Your spiritual life is your inner life. Not the outward 3D life, which is the flesh life. Your spirit life is your inward world. What's going on in the inside of you? So what governs what goes on in the inside of you? Your thoughts and your feelings govern what is going on in the inside of you. They are the king and the queen of the inner world. Your thought and your feeling. Your thought being the king, your feeling being the queen. You understand? So think of it as chess. And think about how you play chess. Your king and your queen on your board are your thought and your feeling. You see? So that's what's going on when it comes to your spiritual warfare. That's what you're at war over. Your thoughts and your feelings. That's what spiritual war is. That's why Abba gave us the specific armor that he told us about in Ephesians. The armor of Ephesians, right? The helmet of salvation, thoughts and feelings. See, thoughts. The breastplate of righteousness, feelings. See? Now, if it's not feelings, the breastplate of righteousness, let's check it out. If you're wearing the breastplate of righteousness, then when people hurl accusations at you, they bounce off because they don't affect how you feel, because your feelings are governed by right thought. That's why it calls the breastplate of righteousness, the breastplate of right thinking. You see, when I'm called the grandson of right thought, you see, what I'm saying is the grandson of righteousness, or the branch of righteousness, the branch meaning the grandson. So the grandson of right thought literally means the branch of righteousness. You see? Right thought. So if you're wearing the breastplate of right thought, then your feelings are governed by right thought is what that means. So that when people hurl accusations at you, it just bounces off. It doesn't affect your feelings. So then you win in that moment of war. You see? You are girt about with the belt of truth. So what does that mean? That means that you have a firm foundation in your feelings that are girt about with truth. That's holding everything up and holding everything together, keeping you as a man or as a woman in this world, not as a child. You see? Because you're girt about with the belt of truth, which is your belt that you're wearing. Keeps everything strong, everything tight, everything intact. So when people come with lies, it doesn't work. Because you're girt about. You see? In your hand. What are you carrying in your hand? You're carrying a sword, right? You're a warrior. You're a spiritual warrior. This is spiritual war. So you're carrying a sword. What is that sword you're carrying in your hand? It's the word of the Most High. That's the double-edged blade that you're carrying. That's the sword that you have. You see? So if you're not equipped with the word of the Most High, then you don't have a double-edged sword that you can use to cut down lies, deceptions of the world that are making war to affect your thoughts and your feelings. You can't cut through it so that you can see it, so that you can think right about it and feel right about it. As an example, you're starving. So then you would say, take no thought of what I'll eat or I'll drink. That's the sword cutting through the lie that you're starving. Abba Yah will never let you starve if he love you, right? Do you believe Abba Yah love you? Then you'll believe they'll provide for you. Then your thoughts and feelings are never being swayed off of the truth by a lie that you're starving or you're lacking or you don't have. Y'all understand this? I mean, do you see how that's working? That's the warfare that you're making is for your thoughts and your feelings. To be married, to be a husband and a wife within yourself. So now you can truly empathize with anybody on the earth because there are only male and female. So then you can empathize with all because you now know how it feels because you're married within yourself. See, a woman that wants to relate to her husband has to be able to relate to the masculine side of herself, to her thoughts and her feelings, so that she can relate to her husband in truth. Same thing goes for the husband. He has to relate to his feminine side, which is his feelings, so that he can relate to his woman. Is it not true? You see how everything just clicks into place like Legos when you're standing in the truth? Everything just clicks right in. You don't have to struggle to make it work or nothing. So then what does that mean for you today? All of you elect. That means that everything around you today is trying to affect your thoughts and feelings one way or the other. Now it's up to you to decide what's true. How is it truly affecting you? Your spouse. How does your spouse truly affect you today? How does your circumstance affect you today? Your thoughts and your feelings. See? How does your parent affect your thoughts and your feelings when you're around them? How do your so-called friends affect your thoughts and your feelings when you're around them? That's what you need to be focused on, because that's the warfare that's going on. It's over your thoughts and feelings. That's why everybody who woke up started to stop watching TV. They stopped watching TV when they started to wake up. The more they woke up, the less TV they watched. Why is that? Because they're no longer allowing the outside stimuli to affect their thoughts and feelings. You see? You see that? That's why people do all of the things that they do, is to affect their thoughts and their feelings, to make themselves feel better. Ain't that what people say? I want to feel better. Everybody wants to feel better. Well, then you have to think better. But nobody wants to think better. So then you ain't gonna never feel better. That's simple. You're not going to be married within yourself. You're divorced within yourself. Now let's prove that. When you're doing 9 times out of 10, when you're doing the thing that makes you feel better, doesn't your thoughts war against it and say, I don't think we should do that. I don't think we should do that. But you're feeling and you do it anyway. Most of y'all that have the thorn in your side, because we all do, that sin that so easily besets us, no matter what it may be for us, whatever your sin is, when it comes and the feeling says, yeah, it's going to feel good if I do it, then your thoughts are going to say, but I know I shouldn't do it. So that means that the husband and wife disagree. True or not, inside of you. You see how the spiritual warfare is affecting your husband and wife, your home, which is your temple, your body? Don't y'all understand this? They're disrupting your house by giving you outside stimulation. Now, let me ask you a question. All the men right now, if you had a woman, would you want her being stimulated by other men? No. So you see how opposites come out of this world? That means stop giving ear to this other man. Stop listening to him. Stop letting him affect you. Stop allowing him to have any influence in your life. That's what Abba Yah is saying about this world. Stop letting this man, this world, affect you. Make you listen to him. Get you to take ear to what he's saying. Anything. Do y'all see and understand that? How simple that is to understand. That is what's going on inside of each and every one of us today. You see that? So now, are we going to regulate that, or are we just going to allow it to just continue to be led, tossed on the waves of what we see? Now that we know, now that we have knowledge. Because remember, what did Abba say? He said, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Y'all didn't know that that's what it was. So let me show it to you, how destructive you've been to yourself. Before you knew it was about your thought and feeling, Israel, you felt and thought negative shit all the time. All the time about yourself, about your life, about your circumstance, about your job, about this, about that, about that. All kinds of things you just felt bad about all the time. You see that? And why was that? Because you didn't have knowledge. You didn't know that that's what affects everything, is your thoughts and feelings. You are to govern that. You are to bring your feelings unto subjection to right thought. That's how you tame the wild Mustang. That's how you tame the wildness of the feelings and bring them into subjection, making them tame. You see? Same thing that a man and a woman do. When a man lay with his woman, he humble her down to his will. See? And she becomes weak for him, if it's right. You see? And that's just the truth of the matter. It ain't hard to understand. It's not a struggle. It's not. Once you have knowledge, then you're no longer destroyed. You are now intact. You are put back together again. You see? Like Humpty Dumpty that fell off the wall and shit. That was your ass. That was Israel. They fell off the wall and got jacked up. But Abba Yah put them back together again. You see? So now we know the true thought, which is Abba Yah's word. Look. When y'all read y'all scriptures, don't y'all ever see when the prophets are speaking, it says, the word of the Lord came to me? Y'all just overlook the word part. Oh, so, okay, that means God's talking to him. The word was with God in the beginning. The word was God. John 1:1. Remember that? So when the prophets were saying the word of the Lord came to me, that's Christ. That's what we call Christ. Truth came to me, in other words. Don't you all see it? How it's all weaved together? Truth came to me and spoke to me. You see? So when Christ said, behold, I go back to the Father, and I will send you the Spirit of truth. That means the Word of God. The words of Abba Yah, because they are true. Didn't he say, Abba Yah, your word is truth? Y'all see? So when the word of the Lord was speaking to the prophets, truth was speaking to the prophets. That's Christ. That's why it was in the beginning with God. Y'all thinking about a flesh and blood person. And that's why y'all get fucked up. Because it's spiritual. It's spiritual. That's why we call him Yahushua HaMashiach. Yahushua the anointed. It's the anointing is what we're talking about. You see? That's why we don't make idols to nothing, to no God. We don't make idols. That's why. Because we understand the truth of it, that it is truth and love. So when we hear the truth, we know that that's Abba Yah's voice, and we know that that's the voice of love speaking to us because it's true. Simple as that. So then we don't get caught up in the lies of what anybody else is. We literally shut it off. Look, guys. Abba Yah's word is true. Therefore, let God be true and every man a liar. So therefore, you only need to be listening to either Abba Yah or those who speak Abba Yah's word. Ain't that simple? But it's whether you believe Abba Yah's word is true or not. If you believe it's true, then you'll cut everything else off. What did he say? When you find the pearl of great price, you will sell everything else that you have. That's what he said. And it's true. You will. Because once you understand Abba Yah's word is true, and you put it to the test and you see it's true, and you know by your own personal experience that it's true, then nobody can lie. And then you become a testimony because you tell everybody the good news. I want to know about the good news. The good news is that the truth will set you free. That's the good news. I am will set you free from all the bondages that you find yourself in. Whether they be sickness, say I am healthy and believe it. Feel the feelings that match the health and you will have it. If you say I am poor, feel the feelings of having the wealth and you will have it. If you say I am whatever it is that you're lacking, if you speak the words of I am over that lack, it will change into prosperity. Period. It will change into the image of Abba Yah if you speak his name over it. But y'all didn't know his name was I am, and you didn't know that was connected to you. So you spoke so bad about yourself and you hated yourself. And while you were doing that, you didn't know you were hating Abba Yah, the creator. You didn't know that. And today, now you will no longer be destroyed because you have knowledge. Now you know the truth. And the truth will set you free from all the bondage that they put on you, changing you from the image of Abba Yah to some other image of I am this, and I am that, and I am this, and I am that, and they're all lacking. And all of those words are vanity that you're speaking over yourself when you speak that name in lies. You just didn't know that was the case. When you speak down of yourself, you're speaking down of Abba Yah. For his name is I am, that I am. So whatever you put after I am, that's what you are. And that's what you have made of Abba Yah's image. Simple as that. So you need to know that truth today, that that is what they're making war against, to take you from your God, to take you from your image, to take you from I am, from who you are. This is what was done to the nation of Israel. Can anybody deny this? That they took their name away, took their heritage away, took their land away, took everything about them away from them, and gave them a false image on top of with a lie on top of it, of a false God. Then if this is the case, and if this is true, then they took your I amness away from you. They took your ability to say, I am this, and believe it. Anybody can say I am whatever, but you have to believe it and you have to know it's true in order for it to come true. So in order for you to stand and say you're a true Israeli today, you have to feel the feeling that match it. And Abba Yah knows who believes it and who don't believe it, who know it's true and who don't know it's true. Abba Yah knows that, and he's going to separate them. He said it himself. And what is he going to use to separate them? The dividing sword of truth. So if you're one of those people who are hearing this truth today, it is because Abba Yah is dividing the wheat from the tares. You must be a wheat or a tare. Where if you depart and run away from it, then you're a tare. If you come into the fold and stay in it and withstand the fire that you're going through, because you are. If you're listening to my videos, then you're going through the fire. Simple as that. And if you can withstand it and endure it to the end, then you shall be saved. It's that simple. Because I'm giving you Abba Yah's words. So if you withstand his word to the end, if you endure it until the end, then you shall be saved. You have to endure in his word. It's the only thing going to get you through. When this money falls, this economy falls, this nation falls, how are you going to survive? You better know the name of I am. And y'all who are hearing these messages today are blessed because you are hearing the name of Abba Yah and his truth. And now you're knowing how to be delivered out of your bondage. Simple as that. Because you better call on the name of I am when you find yourself in distress, because he and only he can deliver you from your distress. I am can. No one else can. No one else can. All of these people are just saying words that they heard that they think sounds good. They don't even understand the meaning of it. Do y'all understand the meaning of the tetragrammaton? Or the Yod-He, Vav-He? Some people say Yahweh. Some people say Yahweh. We of the truth say Now why do we say that's the name of Abba Yah? Because when he breathed into Adam the breath of life, he took the breath. And Adam went. So that's what we call Abba Yah. The breath. We worship the breath because that's life. When there's no longer life. It just ceases. It's dead. So the spirit is not in them. The spirit. So those who don't know that just say the word because they think that's what it's the Hebrew is Yahweh. So his name is Yahweh. They don't even understand the meaning of it. They don't understand the meaning of the breath. The breath means I am. It's letting everybody know that you exist. That's how you know. If anybody who has children knows this, don't y'all do the breath check on your baby? When you walk past, they sleep. You're like, oh, look at my little baby. They all cute, laid up in their blanket, sleep, eyes on, closed, looking all cute. You're like, wow, look at my baby. Then they look so still. They're sleeping so soundly. You're like, are they alive? You look and make sure that their body goes up and down. Every parent has done it. You look to see if their body rises and falls, to see if that breath is in them, that they're alive, see? You see? That lets you know that they're present or that they am. Don't y'all understand the beauty of what Abba Yah has done? So, like I said, if you know the truth and you know it's about the presence, your presence, being present, I am. Not I was. That's not what he said his name was. Not I will be. No, I am. I am constantly present tense. Do y'all understand the depth of that? Being constantly present tense. So then, if I find myself in some uncomfortable circumstance, then I become present in the comfortable circumstance. Like I said, when I found myself in jail, they were like, yeah, you're going to be in here for at least 90 days, they told me. You're not going anywhere. You're on a 90-day lockdown. I was out of there 37 days because I insisted every day that I was free. I told myself this every day. I saw myself doing things that I was doing if I were free. And I felt the feelings that matched it. And 37 days later, it manifested. There's nothing they could do to stop it. And that's what I'm telling you. There's nothing that can stop I am, Abba Yah. There's nothing that can stop him. He is all powerful. He is almighty. Abba Yah is almighty. If y'all could just understand the power of Abba Yah, if y'all could just understand the love of Abba, the majesty of our God, then we wouldn't have to scream anymore. We wouldn't have to fight anymore. We wouldn't have to go back and forth anymore. If we could all just humble down to his majesty and his beauty, his perfection, his omnipotence, his power, his might, his mercy, his loving kindness toward us, his tender mercies, the depth of his love, the depth of his wisdom, the depth of Abba Yah's knowledge, the unsearchable ways of the Most High. If y'all could just understand it, then you wouldn't have to fight anymore. You wouldn't have to go back and forth anymore. You could rest at last. You could be free. You could be raptured. All praises to the Most High. Wow. All praises to the Son, Yahushua, who came and showed us the truth in the way and pointed his finger to the Abba Yah and showed us how to get back home again.